Have you ever set your alarm for 5 a.m. with big plans and then hit snooze only to wake up at 8 a.m. feeling guilty? Maybe you've read that successful people wake up early. Maybe you've tried it yourself, once, twice, maybe 10 times. But you always go back to old habits. You tell yourself, I'm just not a morning person. I need my sleep. But what if I told you the first hour of your day holds the power to change your entire life? What if one man's story could prove that your destiny is decided before the sun rises? This is the story of a man who had nothing until 5 a.m. became his secret weapon. Stay with me until the end, because this might be the wake-up call you've been waiting for. In a small industrial town where factories hummed day and night, there lived a 32-year-old man named Thomas. Thomas worked as a night security guard at a textile warehouse. Every evening at 8 p.m., he arrived at the gate. Every morning at 6 a.m., exhausted, drained, he walked home to sleep. His salary was barely enough. He lived in a tiny one-room apartment. A broken fan, a mattress on the floor, a single light bulb that flickered when the power dropped. His clothes were old. His shoes had holes. But more than physical poverty, Thomas suffered from something deeper. He felt trapped. Every morning, as he walked home past the sleeping town, he saw other people's lives through their windows. Families having breakfast together, children preparing for school, men in clean shirts heading to office jobs. And Thomas would think, will this be my life forever? Walking home while everyone else was waking up to their dreams. He had tried to change. He applied for better jobs, but with only a high school education, every door closed. He wanted to learn new skills, but after working all night, he was too tired to do anything except sleep. His mother, who lived in the countryside, called him once a week. Thomas, my son, when will your life get better? I'm getting old. I want to see you succeed before I die. Thomas forced cheerfulness into his voice. Soon, Mama, soon. I'm working on it. But he wasn't, because he didn't know how. The truth that haunted him most was this. He wasn't lazy. He worked hard every night, walking miles, staying alert, doing his duty. But hard work alone wasn't changing anything. He was working hard in a life that was going nowhere. And every morning, as he collapsed into bed around 7 a.m., sleeping until 4 p.m., he felt like he was living backwards. The world moved forward while he slept through it. One thought kept returning, like a whisper he couldn't ignore. There has to be another way. But what? One cold Tuesday morning in November, Thomas's phone rang just as he was leaving work. It was his sister. Thomas, you need to come home. Mama collapsed. She's in the hospital. His heart stopped. He took the first bus to his village, a 3-hour journey that felt like forever. When he arrived at the small rural clinic, his mother lay in bed, weak but conscious. The doctor said she had fainted from exhaustion and stress. She needed rest, better food, medicine they couldn't afford. His mother held his hand, her voice barely a whisper. Thomas, I don't have much time left. Please, my son, don't waste your life as I wasted mine. Find a way. Promise me. Thomas sat beside her bed long after she fell asleep. He looked at her wrinkled hands, hands that worked in fields for decades, just like he worked through nights, both of them struggling, but going nowhere. Something inside him cracked, not with sadness, with rage. Rage at his own helplessness. He stepped outside the clinic into the pre-dawn darkness. It was 5 a.m. The village was still asleep, but a few farmers were already walking to their fields. Birds began to sing. The air was cool, fresh, and in that quiet dawn, Thomas made a decision. "No more," he whispered. "I won't live like this anymore. I don't care what it takes. I will find a way." On the bus ride back to town, Thomas noticed something. Sitting across from him was a man in his 50s, well-dressed, calm, peaceful. He was reading a book. Thomas recognized him. Mr. Chen, a successful businessman who owned several shops in town. What shocked Thomas was the time. 6 a.m. A successful man traveling on a regular bus at dawn. Gathering his courage, Thomas spoke. "Excuse me, sir, why are you on this early bus?" Mr. Chen looked up and smiled. "Because I wake up at 4:30 every morning. I use this time to read, to think, to plan my day before the world wakes up." Thomas hesitated. "But don't you need sleep?" "I sleep at 9 p.m., 7.5 hours. Enough." Mr. Chen studied Thomas's tired face. "Do you work nights?" "Yes, security guard." "And when do you sleep?" "From 7 a.m. to 4 p.m., usually." Mr. Chen nodded slowly. "So you're awake when the world sleeps and asleep when the world works. No wonder you're stuck." He leaned forward. "Young man, let me tell you a secret that changed my life 30 years ago. The hours between 5 a.m. and 7 a.m., those are magic hours. That's when you build the life you want, while everyone else is still dreaming." Something stirred inside Thomas. Hope. A dangerous thing called hope. "But how?" Thomas asked. "I work until 6 a.m. I need sleep." "Then change your sleep," Mr. Chen replied calmly. "Sleep when you get home at 6:30. Wake up at 11:30. That's 5 hours, enough to survive. Then live your real life when the world is awake. And when you can, wake up at 5 a.m. always. That's the secret." Mr. Chen pulled out a card and wrote his number. "If you're serious about changing your life, call me. I'll show you what to do with those morning hours, but only if you're serious. Because this requires discipline most people don't have." The bus reached Thomas's stop. He looked at the card in his hand and made a promise to himself. "I'll do it, starting tomorrow." That evening, Thomas did something he had never done before. He called Mr. Chen. The next day, at 11 a.m., for the first time in years, Thomas was awake during daylight on a weekday. They met at a small cafe. Mr. Chen looked at him with approval. "You actually changed your sleep schedule. Good. Most people talk, you acted." He took out a notebook and drew a simple diagram. "Thomas, imagine your life is a house. Right now, your house is dark, cold, and falling apart. Why? Because you never work on the foundation. You're too busy surviving." He drew a small house. The hours from 5 to 7 a.m., that's your foundation building time. While everyone else is asleep or just waking up, you're constructing the future. 2 hours every morning. That's 14 hours a week, 60 hours a month, 730 hours a year. That's the equivalent of 91 full workdays just from waking up early. In 1 year, you get 3 extra months, months everyone else wastes sleeping. Thomas's eyes widened. 3 months? Here's what you do with those 2 hours, Mr. Chen continued. This is non-negotiable. This is the system. Hour 1, 5 to 6 a.m. Build skills. You learn something that will change your economic situation. Not watching TV, not scrolling your phone. Learning. A skill, a language, a trade. Online courses are free now. YouTube has everything. You have no excuse. Hour 2, 6 to 7 a.m. Build body and mind. 30 minutes, exercise. Walk, run, stretch. Your body is your vehicle. If it breaks down, you have nothing. 30 minutes, read, plan your day, or apply what you learned in hour 1. Thomas wrote frantically in a borrowed notebook. Mr. Chen added 3 rules. Rule 1, no negotiation. You wake up at 5 a.m. every single day, even weekends. No, just today I'll skip. That's how you fail. Rule 2, sleep by 9 p.m. You can't cheat sleep and succeed. Your body needs rest, but you control when you rest. Rule 3, the first week will be hell. Your body will hate you. Your mind will create excuses. Push through. After 21 days, it becomes normal. After 90 days, it becomes who you are. Mr. Chen looked at Thomas seriously. I'm giving you 3 months. 3 months of waking at 5 a.m., building skills in hour 1, building yourself in hour 2. After 3 months, come back to me. Show me what you've built. If you've done the work, I'll help you find a better job. If you quit, don't bother calling. Success goes to people who show up when it's hard. Thomas felt the weight of the challenge, but for the first time in years, he felt something else. Purpose. I'll do it, he said quietly. I won't quit. Mr. Chen smiled knowingly. We'll see. Everyone says that.